So you're thinking about moving to Toronto. In today's video, we're going to be looking at High Park in great detail using Google Maps. And if you stick until the very end, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a current market update and market report for this area. So let's get started. If this is your first time on this channel and you want to know everything about living and moving to Toronto, then you're definitely going to want to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so that you can be notified and be the first to know about everything when it comes to the current market here in Toronto. My name is Amanda Azzarito, and we get calls and emails daily from people just like you who are looking to make that move to Toronto, and we absolutely love it. So whether you are looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, make sure to click that link down below and fill out our call form so we can set up a call so we can make your move to Toronto nice and smooth. So like I mentioned, we're going to be diving into High Park today. So let's open up Google Maps and get started. Right now, what we're going to look at is just the whole entire area of High Park first. Okay, so it's really broken down into two parts. There are two specific neighborhoods when you're looking at High Park. Okay, and the first one is going to be High Park North, which is in this area, which is just north of the park. And then the second part is really across on both sides of the park. Okay, so I'm trying to make this nice and clean, but it's hard. But yeah, so I would say these are the two major parts of High Park. It's really broken down into these two neighborhoods, but really in one, which is High Park. We're first going to look at the north section, and then we'll look just south of Bloor Street. The main street here is, of course, going to be Bloor Street, which just goes across, which is just north of the park. But Bloor Street itself is a very popular street. Tons of bars, restaurants, tons of little shops, cafes, and all of that good stuff. So you're going to find that all here. Some really good things to know is that there is a healthcare center nearby, which is always good. And if you have any animals or pets, then they also have an animal hospital nearby as well. So it's nice that you have both in this neighborhood. There are tons of churches in this neighborhood, as well as schools. As you can see, there are a lot of schools nearby in this area, even colleges. So that's great. Down here is another school. Honestly, this area is filled with a lot of schools and a lot of churches. So that's really good. As you can see, there's a funeral home over here, another school over here, a daycare center, which is always beautiful to have in the neighborhood. Also, a really good thing is that there's so much greenery around. As you can see, there's a lot of even smaller parks, of course, and the big park, which is High Park, that is in the neighborhood, which is amazing. So you're really going to get that mix of both city and nature, which is beautiful. Another important thing to note is that there is gas stations nearby, which is nice, just on the Bloor right here of Parkside and Bloor Street, where there's the 7-Eleven is a gas station. So that's really nice to have nearby in the neighborhood. Now, in terms of transportation, there is actually a lot of subway stations nearby. So there's this subway station, and then not too far away is another one right here. And then, of course, you have a lot of buses and all of that happening along Bloor. And there's a whole bunch of different routes around this area of High Park. So you have endless amount of options when it comes to transportation. Zooming in a little bit more, as you can see, I forgot to mention this subway station right here, pharmacy. And as you can see, lots of condo options in this area, specifically in the north of High Park. But yes, you have lots of different options around residential homes, condos, townhouses, all of that, apartment buildings, all of that. There's lots of options around in this area. All right, so now let's start to look more south of Bloor, which is the other part of High Park. And of course, in the spanking middle is High Park itself, which is a huge park. It's Canada's biggest park, not only Toronto, but Canada's biggest park. So there's so much going on in here. And I actually have a tour video where I actually show you around the park and around the neighborhood. So if you want to go see that video, you could go click on that video right now. But there is so much to do and see, so many hiking trails. There's actually a zoo in the actual park as well, which is free if you didn't already know. There is this cool park. There is a lot of different activities that you're able to do in the park, of course, and this huge pond where people can actually go fishing. So there's a lot to do in this park. But let's look at the surrounding areas. So if you look on the left side of the park, there's actually another pretty good sized park here as well. And lots of activities here as well. As you can see, there's a skating rink. So a lot of activities all around in this neighborhood. And just south of the park, if you didn't already know, there is the highway. So the great thing about this neighborhood is that you're right next to the highway. So if you do need to travel outside of the city, maybe go to the suburbs, or if you need to go to the airport because you're traveling out of town and to other places, then you have instant access to the highway. So there is the Gardner Highway, right? You have Lakeshore down here. Queensway is just underneath the park directly. So yeah, you have access to everything around. And as you can see, you have one of the major hospitals down here. Quick little fact, I was actually born in St. Joseph's Hospital. So yeah, it's a great hospital, by the way. So now let's get back to the left side of the park. So I just zoomed in a little bit. As you can see, we have church, we have unique schools like Art Theater School right here. As you can see, there's a fire station, which is always nice to have in the neighborhood. More schools and more churches over here on this side. So there is definitely a lot going on. And now we're going to move to the right side of the park. So let's just quickly zoom in here. There's the High Park Club right here. There's a daycare on this area. There's a few libraries, which is nice. The Toronto Public Library over here. Church, there's a few churches, and a lot of different options in this area as well. Just coming more north, you can see there's even more options when it comes to, let me just grab my marker. When it comes to schools, as you can see, there's another school right here, piano lessons. So a lot of different types of schooling as well, which is cool. I saw guitar lessons over there on the other side. And as we move up towards Bloor Street, more churches, you can see a lot of food options along Bloor, of course. And over here on this side, you can see that there is a gym, another school. This one's a very popular high school. And yeah, so there are a ton of options when it comes to the typical things that you need from a day-to-day basis. It's very family-friendly neighborhood. As you can see, lots of daycares in this neighborhood, lots of activities for your children for sure, plus the park, right? Who doesn't love going to the park or going to the zoo? So there's so many activities even within the park itself. I'm gonna stop here. I definitely want you to watch the other video so that you can actually take a look at what the neighborhood looks like. But now let's go look at the market report. Time for the market reports. We're first gonna do the High Park Swansea area. Okay, so in the last 30 days, as you can see, there is 41 homes that are new to market. Off the market, 974. And then days on market is 29 days, which is actually up compared to the last 30 days in this area. And then just a few listings, as you can see, some condo options, apartment options. And then over here on this side, you can see the most expensive residential home right now, which is on sale for $7.9 million right here. And then some popular listings down here at the bottom. Again, very different price range, but this area does range dramatically. So 1.7, as you can see over here, and then 6.4 up here at the top. All right, so now let's look at the other part of High Park, which is the High Park North area. Okay, so this is it on a map right here, which is just north of the park. So homes new to the market, 24 homes. Off the market, 768. And then days on market, 32 days, which is actually down compared to the last 30 days. All right, so that is the average. And here are some recent listings. As you can see, average price right now is 2 million, in that range. And most expensive is in the 3 million range right here. Some other popular listings down here. And as you can see, it's not just all residential, but there is a lot of different options. And so that is the market report for the Hyde Park area. So we hope you enjoyed today's map tour video. If you did, give our video a like, and also leave a comment down below and let us know what was the best part of Hyde Park for you. And if you're thinking about moving to Toronto, then definitely click on that link down below and fill out the call form that we have. And that way we can give you a call and help you make a smooth move to Toronto. And if you would like to see me actually tour this neighborhood live, then you're definitely going to want to click on this video next. Until next time, see you around the city, and God bless.